Going on to all my Capricorns, you have the Four of Wands, the World, the Page of Wands, the Three of Cups, the Ten of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the Moon, the Ace of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Strength. Okay, so for you Capricorns, right? You did get the World, which is Capricorn, right? So this is more than likely means that things are going your way, all right? The Four of Wands represents, like I said, the type of mentality that you have. You really want a relationship with somebody, right? This is New York, that is very much so solid, very much so divinely made, right? Very strong, very difficult to break up. And the world really just represents in your own mind what it is that you want, and you knowing what it is that you want, right? But then the Page of Wands and the Three of Cups represents, but a lot of you Capricorns know, right? Page of Wands, Three of Cups, a lot of you Capricorns know what it is that y'all want. And a lot of you have the intention of being good to the person that you would be in a relationship with. But the problem that I'm seeing here is that a lot of you Capricorns are probably thinking to yourselves that even though you would be good to the people that you're with, a lot of you Capricorns are perceiving or you're thinking that there's always some nonsense that interrupts the process of y'all really being in love, not only just being in love, but being in love in a very functional way, right? Like there's always something messing up on that. And see, now the situation is that the Ten of Wands, where you have to leave that interaction, that person that you were trying to get to know, they in a relationship, y'all getting together, y'all, you hanging out with the person for like a month, y'all done did what it is that y'all did, and then you find out that the person is doing that to somebody else or whatnot. And it's like y'all done hung out with these people 2-3 times, right? 4 or 5 times. And they hanging out with somebody else in that level. And they're before the month is up, they're doing the very same thing. Now, that's the same type of situation, because I've said this, that the first person, when you dating multiple people, the first person that you end up having intimacy with is the person that you're now dating. So if you interacting with 3 different people and you have intimacy with one of them, you gotta now essentially let the other 2 know, like, hey, listen, you may keep their number or whatever the case may be, but you getting to know this one person because you and this person are going well right now. But you in that situation where you could be dating them and the 2 of y'all get physically intimate, and then like the next thing that it's a situation where this person turns out to like be cheating on you, you know what I mean, at the very beginning of it, where y'all getting to know each other the first month, y'all done did it, and then you find out that the other person does it, or you're trying to get to know the person and they're running games, or all sorts of stupid stuff that they would do, right? There's always something that family would interject, right? So now you have the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles and the Moon, right? It speaks to the very intense time that a lot of you Capricorns are having right now, because the time is that a lot of you Capricorns really want to start seeing results, but it just seems like things may end up being a little bit out of reach for a lot of you Capricorns. Like things may just be illusions, like things may just be reflections, right? Reflections as far as reflections on like the water, and stuff like this. A lot of, obviously this is the mermaid tarot, so water, right? But the thing about water is you got to be careful with it to a certain extent, because it can often harbor or make a projection, right? Like it could be something, not necessarily a projection, but it could be something where it can show an illusion. And a lot of times the Knight of Pentacles and the Moon now represents how, this is really about how you just feel like people just kind of wasting your time and almost like making a mockery of you, right? Kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like making a mockery of you where you say what you want and like this person acts like they're listening, they're jotting down notes, but in actuality, it just turns out to be them just doing their own thing, or like they ghost you. You know what I mean? Or, you know, when you're getting to know them, they ghost you. They get what it is that they want. They ghost you, or they ghost you early on. You know what I mean? And the Ace of Swords, I'm just seeing how the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles is like, now a lot of you Capricorns are now here in the situation where a lot of you are thinking about, well, why would you want to continue to date? Why would you want to continue? More so specifically, why would you want to continue to shell out your cash if you're meeting a lot of people right now, or you've been meeting some people, right, between last summer and up to now, and a lot of you Capricorns aren't even necessarily getting people. It just seems like, you know, you're putting up the cash to date people, you know, trying to be on some chivalrous type stuff, and people are just playing that like, oh, whatever, you know. And then you have the Strength, and the Strength card is you're trying to continue to do that, but a lot of you Capricorns may be having trouble with that. Like you're really thinking about, a lot of you Capricorns are really reflecting on, is being good to people as far as dating good to do? Like, is that going to benefit you? And I'm gonna be real with you Capricorns, as always. I think that you Capricorns, from my perspective, right? Because you over here, what it is that you Capricorns really got to do to solve that problem is that, I should say, one of the things is that you really have to ask yourselves, what is good? Because you should be most definitely an upstanding person, and you should have character, right? Your spirituality should be intact, your health should be intact, your family should be intact, right? Your parents should be good, your home or your dwelling place should be good, your mobility or your ability to travel or your come up, right? Your ability to actually rise should be good. All of these different things should be good, right? Or well enough. But at the same time, you really got to start asking yourself the context of what it means to be good. A lot of times, people can often mistake what is actually good and what is moralistically good. And what I mean when I say moralistically good is, a lot of times people think that being nice and a pushover and doing things a million times and not necessarily getting the result that you want is something to be celebrated. And that's not necessarily really the case. That's not really the case at all. A lot of times it's more so what actually is good, right, is learning from your mistakes and understanding what you need to do to adapt to the situation without having to compromise who you are. So if you find yourself, Capricorns, in a position where a lot of you, you know, you out here, you going out on these dates and you spending this amount of money on food, stop buying food for people. You know, stop going out on dinner dates. To be honest with you, a lot of that dinner date stuff is in the trash because, you know what I'm saying? Like food is a representation of love, right? It's partially a representation of love, sustenance. But a lot of times you Capricorns really got to take into consideration that some of y'all are doing things a little bit too old-fashioned. And a lot of you Capricorns, one of the secrets that a lot of you Capricorns also don't know is the fact that when it comes to these dinner dates and getting to know somebody, right? That whole type of restrictive way that people used to date about 50, 60, 70 years ago, that type of stuff was really for a short period in time. That wasn't really the natural state. The world was always a free market to date who it is that you want like this. That was always the natural state. It was more of a natural state way longer, for billions of years, than it was where we doing this strict monogamy thing. You could be in a situation, let's clarify some of these cards, but you could be in a situation where you're monogamous, but not to the point where it was strict the way that it was from the 30s to about the 60s. You understand? So let's clarify the strength. So to clarify the strength, we have the Sun, the Devil, Two of Cups, and the Star. So to clarify the strength, right? And we have the Sun. So a lot of Leo energy. So I'm seeing that a lot of your pride is hurt. You know, your confidence, you know, how, and then you have the Devil, which is the other card in the major arcana that represents Capricorn as well as the world. So a lot of Leo energy, a lot of Capricorn energy. And the thing is that the world and the Devil here represents how you got to really take into consideration that what you've got going on is that a lot of you Capricorns really need to understand that you should really just understand that if a person is not your speed, if you and a person are not able to hang out, if you feel like you got to force a situation, that's a dub. You got to leave them alone. Also, too, if they ghost you, that's okay. That's a dub. You got to leave them alone, too. You know, somebody dubbed me or whatever, but I don't really care. You know what I mean? And then you have the Devil. You know, the Devil and the Two of Cups and the Star represents how, so just don't allow yourselves to become obsessed or like start getting angry and start taking it personally, because none of it at the end of the day, right, when it comes to people trying to play games with you, is meant to be taken too personally. The Two of Cups is just keep on trying to get to know other people. Well, heal first, right? Take like 2-3 weeks off, right? Maybe even a month, depending on how advanced you are, and then get back up on out of there. And start to talk to people. But what's most important is to keep getting to know other people, and the Star card, and to never allow yourselves to be caught up in another person's game. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Peace.